Everybody, this is Andrew Marshall with the United Fresh Start Foundation, talking today with Emily Hanlin from the Cobb County Schools in Georgia. Her school district is just outside Metro Atlanta, a suburb of that city. And we're going to get an inside look into what Emily and her team are doing to ensure kids in her communities have access to fresh fruits and vegetables during this time. Emily, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate being here.
Well, can you give us a little bit about Cobb County School District, how many students you're feeding? I know this is a crazy time, but maybe discussing how many students you typically fed and now what school meals look like in terms of numbers and what you're doing this current school year.
Okay, we're a fairly large district. We average about 111,000 students. Pre-COVID, I hear everyone say a lot, we averaged about 19,000 breakfasts every day, and lunch was about 80,000 meals at lunch. Now, of course, since then, our numbers are dramatically different. In March, when we closed school buildings and we went to all virtual learning, we dropped all the way down to about 6,000 meals a day. It was our average. Now that we are back into starting to bring students back and getting back into this next school year, we're actually starting to see our numbers go back up. So we're right around 17,000 breakfasts right now this week. And lunch is getting to almost to 26,000. So we're slowly growing that number back towards what we would normally do.
Yes, no, we appreciate you sharing those numbers and kind of giving folks the inside look into what this has meant for your program. But can you share a little bit about what that means related to fresh fruits and vegetables and kind of how you were serving meals throughout the spring and summer, and then also kind of what we're looking at as we go into this school year?
Okay, so we've always looked at our program like we're a restaurant, and we really want to provide the best quality things for our students. So fresh fruits and vegetables are always a great way to showcase what we do, and we have that on our plates daily. So when we switched in March to having to do what we did was a weekly meal pickup. So we really looked at how can we continue to incorporate those fresh fruits and vegetables into those meal kits so that we can continue to provide those high quality meals. So we had fresh fruit every day. We incorporated salads and fresh vegetables. We did different veggie dippers and things like that the parents could then allow their children to have at home without a lot of prep. We did that through most of the summer. Once we got back into what would be a normal school year for us, starting in August, we really kind of took it back to, okay, we did this emergency feeding kit. Now we want to take it just another level up. So in addition to continuing the salads every week and the fresh fruit every week, we've also incorporated the fresh veggies, but now instead of just having them be raw and like dipper type items, we are including cooking instructions. So if the parents wanted to steam them or roast them or do something different with those items, they had that ability to now just continue to mix it up, really to give our children an opportunity to experience something new than what they had been since March.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that, Emily. And I guess my thought process goes to, during the spring and summer months, and now looking at the next school year, we've seen some USDA flexibilities come out. Can you share a little bit about your philosophy around the school meal patterns and what Cobb County Schools is going to be doing related to fresh fruits and vegetables and those meal patterns?
So we are following the seamless summer option waiver, which really is essentially a carry forward of the school breakfast program and the National School Lunch Program meal patterns. So we're still going to continue to offer that variety of fruits and vegetables, the different colors of vegetables and the different subgroups. So we really aren't going to change what we're offering in that regard. In a lot of different ways, it's basically a carry forward of what we would do during the normal school year. What we've really tapped into this year is we've put a little bit more of our money into DOD. So we can continue to get those fresh produce items that, while our budget has gotten a little tighter and a little thinner, that DOD money really allows us to continue to buy those high quality and those specialty kind of things. Offering our students here in Georgia watermelon at this time of year is something they love, because that's, they're looking for that. And so while we can still get it and it's in season through DOD, we're trying to take full advantage of that. We also do the fresh fruit and vegetable program, which is another great way to get unique and different types of fruits and vegetables in front of our students as well.
That's fantastic. And you have, I believe, 5 elementary schools with the fresh fruit and vegetable program. So not a ton, but we appreciate your commitment to making sure the students from those schools are able to access those items. Can you share what your plans are, I guess, this school year for being able to implement that?
Yeah, so it was interesting in the spring with the fresh fruit and vegetable program because you can only offer it out of the schools where you have the grant. So that became a little bit of a interesting thing for us to work through. But as we got into August, we've got some nice additional waivers from USDA to allow us to let parents to pick it up as part of the kit, and give us some flexibility as, maybe the student is picking up at the middle school where the sibling goes to, and we know that student's a student at the elementary, we can now still provide that to that same student. So regardless of where they're going. So we are in what we're calling a choice model right now, where we're phasing back students in person. So about half our students are coming back and about half are remaining virtual. And that number changes almost daily, which I hate to say, but it does. We started our elementary students back on campus last Monday, and we were able to just really start rolling with the FFE program at those schools, for those on-site students. And then the parents who are coming to pick up the meal kits for the what we're calling remote learners were able to get the fresh fruit and vegetable in those kits as well.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for your commitment to those kids and this program. A lot of times when we talk about fresh fruits and vegetables, we also talk about farm to school and the way that plays into things. Can you share a little bit maybe about what Cobb County is doing to promote local fruits and vegetables or to work with your distributor around farm to school options?
Sure. So again, while continuing doing our kits, we always have a local focus, and we have a fabulous produce distributor here in Atlanta who we work with, who does a great job of sourcing things for us, kind of helping us with this is a good local option to offer at this time of year. So looking at seasonality, they provide us farmer bios and information and really marketing things that we can use not only on our serving lines, but handouts and flyers we can put into our meal kit bags, things we can use on our social media accounts, and all those various places where we can market to our parents about what we're doing farm to school.
That's fantastic. And also one of the things that I know your school district is looking at doing too is making things easier for parents that are coming with their children to pick up meals. And so it's easier for them to make meals at home, and fresh produce is being incorporated as part of that program as well. Can you share with our audience about what you're doing in that respect and why you kind of came up with this concept?
So we live in a pretty well-off area. So as in a suburb of Atlanta, we don't have a lot of economic need, but we have a lot of parents who don't have a lot of time. And in talking to parents, in looking at what's available out there, especially when COVID hit, families were struggling with trying to make sure, I got to balance work and virtual learning and all these other things. So we thought, why not provide them a family dinner? The ability to buy something that's cold in a aluminum ovenable pan that they can take home, pop in the oven for 30 minutes, take it out, feed their family. So it serves a family of 4. It's an entree with vegetables. All of them include a full-size family dinner salad loaded with fresh fruits and vegetables. So it's a for purchase item. So, we actually have, at our last count, we had over 600 families buy a kit. And so it's available each week when they come to pick up the kits for the remote learning, the student kits. They can pre-order a dinner and pick it up when they're picking up the meal kit, go home, pop it in the oven, and they're ready to go for dinner.
That's fantastic. And in addition to, helping families eat healthier at home, it's also something that I assume you put together just from a budgetary perspective for your own district, where if you're not serving as many students or you're missing some of those a la carte sales, this family dinner is a way to, kind of help you manage your budget, but also continue those nutrition lessons that you're teaching at school into the home.
Exactly. So it's a nice way to showcase a well-rounded meal like we serve at school, but also, yes, we do a lot of a la carte sales in our district. And when the kids aren't on site, it's hard to get those sales. So we were trying to be creative and out of the box, and this was just one way we could do that. And you never know when you try something like this what kind of reaction you'll get, but we had a lot of positive reaction from families, a number of repeat buyers who every week they're buying. We have an alternating menu, so it rotates, so they can get something different every week. And it's been a great success for us. So we're trying to figure out how and if we might continue to do it once we are back normal, all in school.
Always got to be looking for those silver linings.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Emily, so much for joining us today. Cobb County School District in Georgia, a leader in school nutrition, a leader in fresh fruits and vegetables, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Andrew.